Hi, I'm your host, Becky Davis, and this is GardenWise, Santa Barbara's most informative show about sustainable landscaping. As the drought continues, water is becoming more valuable than ever, which is why learning to conserve is an absolute necessity. To help, cities all over the county are actually giving money to residents to be more water wise. Up next, we'll tell you how you can get in on the deal.
This was mostly grass, about 3/4 acres of grass, and that was about it.
Like many residents in Santa Barbara County, Dorothy and her husband David had a large stretch of lawn in their backyard, but they weren't aware of how much water it was using.
We started going to the meetings about the problem that Solvang has with water, and then we saw some charts of the residents, what amount of water they were using, and we realized that we were one of the top residential users in the city, and we knew that we had to do something.
That's when they learned about Solvang's landscape rebate program, one of many rebates offered throughout the county.
You can get up to $1,000, and you have to use it for plans or supplies, plants, bark. You cannot use it for any labor. So we decided to use the money and get a professional to draw up some plans for us. My husband wanted a dry creek bed. That's one thing he mentioned to her. And then she brought up some ideas about maybe doing a path and a bridge, and it all sounded really nice to us. We really like all these beautiful plants. She used some wonderful colors. We have pinks and lavenders and blues, which is our favorite color. When the wind blows, these plants shimmer in the wind. Our gardener has very minimal upkeep here so far. He's probably, I wouldn't say, spending more than 15 minutes a week on this area. So it's saving us a lot of money on gardening, and our water usage is down 60% overall.
Drastically cutting their water usage is only one of the many benefits David and Dorothy have experienced through participating in the rebate program.
I think that the rebate is a good thing. It gets you motivated to do something. It was difficult for us to think about giving up the grass, but we're not unhappy now. We think this is even more beautiful than the grass. And of course, we always have a lot of gophers, and now we don't have the gophers. They don't even want to come here, so it's a win-win. We certainly know that we have a problem in this city, and it gets kind of scary. And I go around and I see all these dead lawns, and it's pretty sad. And you can do things with a very minimum cost and do it yourself.
Next, we traveled south to learn about Goleta's landscape rebate program and see how one resident transformed her landscape from a dead lawn to a colorful, water-wise garden.
I had this huge lawn in front, and I told my husband, you know what, we should get off the lawn. He said, no, I love grass. And I kept working on him, and as one day I said, somebody told me, my friend actually, that, they have a program from the Goleta Water District that you could get a rebate and help you out with doing the landscape. So I called them, and that time they didn't have the funds. They ran out, and so I said, okay, I'll just get the grass out. So I went and got the grass out and waited to kill the grass for months and months. And then finally, when I was debating what to do, checking online, checking all the designs and things, I got a call. And that was the best thing happened. It actually accelerated my thinking and doing it.
Goleta's rebate program covers 50% of the cost of irrigation equipment and landscape materials, up to $1,000 for single-family residents and $2,000 for commercial properties.
They have guidelines for if you're doing stones and gravel, they'll pay half of that. They'll pay all the plants that you put in. That's also half of that. And then also drip system. And they will also even pay for the timer if you need to put in to turn it on automatically. So yeah, they cover a lot of these different things, which are the main things in landscape.
The rebate will even cover a portion of pre-approved design costs, but that wasn't necessary for Vandana.
Didn't hire anybody. It was all my design, but I have been, every time I drive, I look at everybody's front yard, and it's been years. It's just because I wanted to do something very unique. And I will go online and go in landscape designs, and I'll check. And I love colors. Vibrant, the better for me. And so that was my first thing was research. I said to myself, okay, I want flowers, but how do I do it without having so much to water when we are in such a severe drought? So I went online and researched on water-wise plants which bloom. So also, while I'm driving, if someplace I see a beautiful plant, I'll take a picture of the flower. I come home and research on it. How to take care of it, how much water it takes. Whenever they say regular water, I say, okay, that is not the plant for me. And that's where I came down to also, I didn't just do for also the water-wise flowers, I had to also look which gophers, which I have the very big problem here, that they will spare my plants. So that's what I was looking, and also the least maintenance. That was also another thing on my list.
Not only were Vandana and her husband using over twice as much water with their lawn, but the time spent maintaining it was drastically higher as well.
First thing is the mowing the lawn, which I think it was like once a week for sure. You have to mow it, otherwise start looking. The weeding, that so many weeds come there, so you have to worry about that part. And then watering twice a week, and half an hour at least to soak the water in, otherwise they look really bad. And then top of that, if the gophers dig it, it shows right there, the hole. So now my water bill is cut in more than half actually. I had water very little. Again, they're drought tolerant plants. Even you can kill the plants here if you water too much, the plants I have. So I water maybe twice a week, maybe sometimes I water even once a week for 5-10 minutes. I turn the drip system on, and that's all I do. And other maintenance is only that had the flowers. That's all you have to do.
Rebate participants aren't the only ones who get to enjoy the benefits of a water-wise garden.
I have so many neighbors, and people drive by, they even knock at my door and they say, you have done an amazing job. It's so beautiful. And it's also gives pleasure to other people who are walking by here. So yes, it is true. It is very unique. It stands out. On top of it, it looks so pretty that gives you the pleasure. I had my sister-in-law visiting from San Jose, and she went home and she called me. She said, you inspired me. I am doing my whole front yard and the backyard. Could you help me pick the flower plants and draw the plants? So even San Jose, she's doing it.
And you can too. Whether you hire a professional or do it yourself, start thinking about how you can make your landscape more water-wise and apply for your local rebate before it runs out.
First, you should go online and see. There are beautiful flowers and designs you can do it. Secondly, they have such a great rebate plan. Program with the city. Why don't you take advantage of it? Create something. If you like the colors, which is going to last forever, you don't have to worry about it. If the drought came again, you couldn't water it. And that will happen in California. This is not the last drought we are going to have it. So I would say absolutely look into it and create something which you really enjoy looking every day. That's all. It's all my personal. I really enjoy. I can stand here and watch my garden for hours, and it gives me such a pleasure.